Hello guys and welcome back to SimCity Cities of Tomorrow. We are here in Vaultopolis. We are still trying to get all of our sort of production, trade and economy buildings in. Now, since the last video, one or two of you have mentioned that what we may need to do is actually get a mega tower or two going in the city. And the reason for that is, obviously we need to build population up because we need workers for our various buildings, but we need to keep the space we use to a minimum because a lot of these things like the Metal HQ and the Amiga Co HQ and the Trade HQ, they take up quite a lot of space with all their little annex buildings. Now, as I replied to that particular comment, I've been told before that the mega towers are actually self-contained and that even though a mega tower provides population and income for the city, that the people that live in the mega towers only work in the mega towers and go shopping in the mega towers. Now that is plausible, but I'm not sure if it's necessarily true. I mean, yes, you can connect the mega towers together. They have road connections. You have the sky bridges that you can use to connect them. But there must be things within the city that these mega towers actually sort of connect with and work with. For example, the clinic, there is no sort of hospital level for the mega towers, so if you get people within your mega towers that get sick or injured, they have to go to the clinic, so they must be able to interact with buildings that are outside of the mega towers in some way, particularly things like power plants. I have actually seen some cities where they've had no zoned areas and everything has been mega towers and auxiliary buildings, and obviously your power plants do require workers, even though there's only one person working this entire power plant. Power plants do require workers, and if you only have mega towers, the workers must come from the mega towers. Well, we have enough money to try it, so let's go ahead and give it a go and see what happens. We're going to put in one of the standard mega towers with a low wealth apartment level. It's quite chunky. Can't really find a decent place to fit it in. It's not going to fit in where I hoped it would fit in. We could put it here, of course, right next to the road, behind the fire station. Not necessarily a bad idea. Let's plonk it down there. It's out of the way of everything else. The fire station's right in front of it, but we can make do with that. It is blocking a road access, but it does have one. It's connected to the highway here. We've still got Maxis Man that we need to keep sending out on his stupid little missions in the hope that he's going to heal some injured people. He's already done one, apparently. No, he's dispatched. What else do we need? We still need to earn quite a bit more profit from mining. And we need to plop a smelting factory, which we can't do just yet. Now, we appear to be having some problems with police. Police send the perpetrators so they don't get away. Now, what do we have in terms of police? I don't think we actually have a police station at all here, do we? We have Maxis Man. We have police coming from our other city. But I think having just a very basic police station here could benefit us quite nicely. So we're going to put it here next to the clinic. And we will place ourselves an additional lot of cars. And hopefully that should be enough to keep things under control for the time being. Now, we're doing quite well for money here, which is definitely a good thing. So we'll speed things up a little bit because, of course, we want our mega tower to be completed as soon as possible. We're at 23,500 people. And Megaco is churning away. It's certainly getting enough oil, but we are ordering that in. It is struggling a little bit to keep the raw ores up. And, of course, there is some sickness, which is hardly surprising. Can't do an awful lot about that. The clinic's no longer at capacity, which is good. But again, there's a shortage of workers. It's like all of our buildings are really short on workers, which isn't a good thing. So I think it's time to start trying to upgrade as many of our roads to medium and high density as possible. And let us attempt to try and get some additional housing in wherever we can. We really need to try and get as many people in this city now as possible. I know that some of these roads are already medium and I'm just clicking them up to high, but I'm just literally putting every sort of patch of road up one level that I can sort of see. But certainly want this entire area around the housing here to go up to medium density. Of course, as usual, it wasn't very well planned out, so there isn't an awful lot of space for a lot of these places to expand, but we'll see what happens. I think that's probably enough for now, so let's see how that goes. Our Mega Tower has now Our Mega Tower has now actually been completed. It has... Oh, it's already at max population. They want a park or mall level, which is absolutely fine. Let's go ahead and give them a mall level because that will give us some extra income. So let's go ahead and start the production there. Amiga Co is in the process of trying to convert it as well, which is very good. Still getting occasional complaints about the sewage issues here. And that's a water pumping station. I think that was one of the things we were going to do. We did put this sewage treatment plant in. I think it is time to put on another treatment tank, though. This, of course, is the big problem when you put mega towers in. They're a huge drain on your city's resources, such as water and the pollution and sewage and pollution and things like that. Amiga Co, of course, still complaining. Can't add any more production lines, so my only real option is to add an extra factory, which I don't want to do at this point. We're not mining ore all that quickly either. And we've reached the limit to the amount of ore shafts that we can put on there, so our only other option really is to add another ore factory, really. We could certainly do that, so let's go to mining. Our storage is full as well. What is that of? Our coal storage is full. Okay, well, we are using that internally. We've got an abandoned building there. We need to sort that out. If we find our storage lots, which is here, is our trading depot. And... okay, so... is the power plant full of coal? No. So why is the storage depot full of coal? Because our coal delivery truck is stuck here on this road that is absolutely congested. So we need to sort that out. So let's make this into a high density street. Not that it will necessarily help issues any. Why is there so much traffic on this street? Because there's literally nothing down here apart from a few factories. Once again, the pathfinding ability of the AI not particularly brilliant. Starting to get a few abandoned buildings because there isn't enough Omega, which is a bit of a problem. So hopefully that will sort itself out. There isn't an awful lot more we can do. I mean, there's just so much congestion on these roads when there shouldn't be. As you can see, we've got massive traffic jams here at this one junction. Should possibly try upgrading this road if we can, although I've got a feeling it's already as high density as it can be. Yeah, so can't really do an awful lot more there. Just stupidly huge amounts of traffic gridlocking this road for no apparent reason whatsoever. Could put some mass transit in, not necessarily sure that is going to help. I think what I will do though is I'm going to put in a medium density avenue, and I'm actually going to try and do that and bypass some of the road. Now that looks a bit ugly, but hopefully it will alleviate some of the traffic issues. We are getting a lot of abandoned buildings because of not enough Omega, so we are going to have to build another Omega factory. On top of that, I also want to build another ore mine, because we are going to need ore for the Omega factories. I think I might actually build this one here. So we're going to do that. We are going to add another ore mine or two on, although it doesn't want to let us put one on in this direction, which is strange, but that should work. Storage is still full. We are definitely in need of ore. This is the reason why it's probably not worth building another Omega Co factory. I don't think we're selling ore, actually. The ore mine is working. Again, doesn't have a huge number of jobs in there. What we should probably do is build another... we'll go for a medium level apartment level. We do need to get some medium wealth people into the city. So many abandoned buildings now. This is really starting to get bad. We'll clear the rubble and hopefully they can rebuild quite quickly. So, do we build another Omega Co factory? We're probably going to have to. We can upgrade our Omega Co HQ though. We should probably do that shortly, but let us build another Omega Co factory. Let's pop it in there. That's probably going to be a massive drain on our power. But we can upgrade our Omega Co factory, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, what else can we do with it? We can add on a robotics division. Local access, drone assembly line, safety line, fire drone. Could be useful with the traffic problems we are having. Local access granted to extraction pods, augmented coal and ore shafts, and oil well. That could be useful. Or the commerce division, which would also be very useful. I think all these would be useful. I think we're going to go for the commerce division, though, to be honest. So let's pop that in there. So we have our commerce division. Now, remind me what that gave us, because I've forgotten already. So, regional access gives us to Amiga Co. regional trading. Local access to global market VTOL pad. Heavy lift VTOL, raw ore, crude oil, and processor port storage lots. Processor trade port. So, we need to get trade port up and running as soon as possible as well. So, it looks like things are slowly starting to improve. Okay, Amiga Co. Looks like it's struggling for oil now. So actually struggling for quite a lot of things, but we are getting there slowly. I do think we still have another building to deal with, which is over here. Get rid of that. Maxis Man, you have healed another sim, but you're still not completely sorted, so go away and do that. Not quite made enough daily profit from coal. Is that? Oh, it's metals, that one. And that one's coal, plopper smelting factory. Which I don't think we can do yet. Smelting factory. We need a smelting division at the metals HQ. And of course, we can't do anything at the... That's the trading one. The metals one is here. Can't upgrade that yet because we haven't made enough profit off metals. That's because we need more ore mines. It is strange that it won't let me build one on this side, but we're going to put as many of these down as possible just to try and get the ore. Problem is, of course, we're not really selling the ore. At least I don't think that we are. Let's have a look at the ore. We are actually exporting it. Because we're not... Yeah, the ore we're not... what is it we're using? Yeah, we do use ore, but we're also exporting it. So maybe we should stop exporting for the time being, because we really are struggling. So, use it locally. Coal we're fine with. Oil we are importing. Petition to build the Mayor's Manor has been approved, so we can go ahead and do that. And of course that always boosts sort of housing happiness. So let's pop it down there. I know we've got ore beneath that, but we will get to it at some point. This is the thing with a lot of the resources that will eventually be used up. You will have to eventually change the focus of the city to do something else. But hopefully we're going to have enough coming in. Our population is almost doubled from what it was at the start of the video now. We've still got a massive amount of money coming in. We have an upgrade for City Hall. We could build one of our extra buildings. Again, there isn't an awful lot of point, but we don't have some of these in the region, so let's put them on. We'll have ourselves a Department of Tourism, and we can also have ourselves the Department of Transportation. So the only department we don't have in the region now is the Department of Education, which, to be fair, I can actually build if I want to, although I'll probably build that in the other city, because that will be an education city anyway. So, still complaining that resource storage is full, and I don't know where. It does look like everything is getting around. Again, you see, still very few workers in some of these buildings. It's really, really strange. The traffic is eased a little bit by putting in another avenue, but as you can see, the traffic is still absolutely terrible. We have almost max population in our mega tower here. What else could we add to this? What could we do for services? We don't have an awful lot of services because we haven't researched a lot of these things. And of course it does require control net usage as well. We could have an education level actually. That would be quite useful. So in fact, I'm actually going to go back on what I said, and I'm going to build my Department of Education here. And what that should allow me to do now is to build an education level in this mega tower. It's a bit expensive, but at least we should get some more educated Sims. And that should help to fill some of these higher level jobs. Now look at this. Petition to build school bus stops improved. Now, does that mean that people who live outside of the mega tower can actually go to school inside the mega tower? Once again, sort of making it look like the mega towers aren't actually an all-in-one self-contained thing, but do actually interact with the entire city. So, difficult to tell on that one. Send Maxis Man out again. He's still only managed to sort of save 2 injured Sims, which I suppose is good, because it just probably means we aren't getting a lot of injured Sims. We're really struggling for oil now as well. So, what we're going to have to do is look at trade. We can actually now build a trade port. Now, we've got 2 options for trade ports, really. We can either put it near water, or we can put it near rail. Now, putting it near rail is going to be a bit of an impossibility, because we don't really have the space. So I think what we will do is we will put it near the water. And it's going to go here near the houses and upset the people that live here. So now we have this. What do we want to put on here? Now, heavy lift VTOL pad could be quite useful. So let's put a VTOL pad around. We are going to need to have a crude oil storage lot, because we definitely need oil. And we'll have a raw ore storage lot as well. Now, freight rail terminal, we're not near the rail. Cargo ship dock, we will have one right there. Now, we could actually connect the rail up. It is possible that we could do that. We need to have a couple of delivery trucks for sure. So let's get a couple of delivery trucks placed down. This is getting quite expensive, but oh well. What the heck. So, we actually have rail across here. I think. That is our rail connection, isn't it? Yes, that is rail. Can we connect rail to that? Where are we? Mass transit. Trains. Rail lines. Ah, yes, we can actually connect up rail. So what we're going to do is this. Build a rail line along there. Then if we go back to our trade port, we should be able to build ourselves a freight rail terminal. And place that on the rail. Don't know if that needs to be connected up via roads or not. I'm going to guess that it probably does, and connected up with a road anyway. Although it doesn't appear to have any road connections on there at all. Oh, there is a road there. Cannot draw through place buildings. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be anywhere here where it would actually connect. Okay. Strange enough. Anyway, let's have a look here. All we should be using locally, and we want to be importing oil. Probably don't need another VTOL pad. We'll see how that works out. We were getting a few warnings here. Again, of course, it's a Megaco. Mainly because they are short of oil. But we're buying more oil in now, which should be better for us. Can we actually put another oil lot down? We're certainly making enough money to be able to afford to do this. So yeah, we'll put another oil lot down. How's our power doing? Because surely that's got to be a bit of a strain on things by now. Nah, a good job I checked, you see. We do have an excess, but not a huge one. So, back to our power plant that's now being actually staffed by 4 workers. So we do have some medium wealth people working here now. We'll get a couple of these nasty old smog stacks on the back. Now, we're putting out as much power as we can do now. Obviously, we're burning a lot more coal as well. Let us see if we can get ourselves some more people in and go for another low wealth apartment level. How's the police station doing? All the jail cells are full, so let us add some more jail cells around the back. Starting to get quite hectic, especially when you're constantly running the game on cheater speed as well, because you really have to sort of deal with all these little things. We've got to upgrade to the Mayor's Manor. Let's get that done. And of course that means we can start adding these little extra things on to increase the local happiness, so we'll do that. I'm starting to buy the oil in, so unfortunately we're not really making much profit from metals because we're not really selling it. We're using as much of it as we're selling, which is a bit of a pain. Could of course put in another mine. Might be worth looking into it, because we're certainly using some of these metals. Obviously I've built my trade port over a lot of the ore now, but I can put this one in here. And potentially not be able to build these things where they would be most useful. Well, that's certainly going to dig some more out for us. So let's see if that helps out. So we've got a trade port now connected to sea and rail. We've got ourselves another Omega Co factory, which I'm not going to put any additional production lines on there at the moment because we still have the problem that we don't really have an awful lot of ore and oil. We do now want to be able to sell our ore, of course. We don't actually have any in the trade depot because, to be honest, it's probably mostly going to the trade port now. So what we'd like to be doing here is exporting it where we can. But we are still using it locally, but I think we're making a fair bit more of it now. Okay, what have we got going on? A mine is at capacity. Extraction has stopped because there is no available storage. Had a garage to ship resources out. Okay, so it's actually our coal mine. Coal mine's struggling a little bit because it only has one delivery truck. Let's place a couple more. Wouldn't hurt us to have another. We're actually using up a lot of the coal now, but we'll head out in this direction as much as we can. Getting there slowly, that's always the thing. It's very much a case of balance. Omega deliveries are still slow. Not an awful lot I can do about that, really. We still have 4 abandoned buildings, which again, not enough Omega. They're all having the same issues. Although some of these, building fire. I've never been so happy to actually see a building abandoned due to a fire before. Still missing one somewhere. There it is. Building fire again. So that's that one done. Maxis man, come on, get out there. You need to save one more injured sim. It still says he's only done one. Oh yes, because the first one was before the mission actually started, which is very annoying. Can't do a smelting factory yet. Still miles away from daily metals profit. Let's have a look at see how things are working out. So we are making a fair bit of cash. Monthly transactions is actually in the negative, so it's costing us 369,000 simoleons per month because we're having to buy in so much oil. But we're also making a fair, decent bit of profit from other things, especially Omega Co. Omega Co is making us a lot of hourly money, which is really nice. Providing, of course, we can keep up that production. Metals HQ is still a fair way off being able to be upgraded. Trade HQ is also a fair way off being upgraded. Of course, we're not making any profit because we are having to buy in our oil. Now, if we actually have another city in the region that is producing oil and sends it to us, we won't have to buy it. And if we don't have to buy it, that is going to save us a lot of money. Still people getting sick, but there is plenty of room at the clinic, so can't do an awful lot about that. Could get some public transport in, but I don't see a huge reason to do that. We've got another abandoned building there. That one is a building fire, though. And we have another one somewhere else as well, which is building fire again. Do seem to have a lot of fires in this place. So as you can see, there's a fair few places that just haven't been able to increase density, and that was partially my bad planning when I put down some of these roads. As you can see, some of the buildings are really at funny angles, and they haven't increased in size the way you would expect them to. It's not the end of the world, though, to be perfectly honest. We can still get away with that. 50,000 people living here now. Got an education level. Most of the population in this tower seem to be happy. Now what we could do is we have a fair bit of money. Although we don't have a huge amount of space, we could think about putting in one of the high wealth mega towers. But I'm not sure that now is the right time to be doing that, in all honesty. Mining. Coal mine is still... There we go. Coal mine is actually struggling. Are we selling coal? I really feel that we should be if we're not already doing so. Coal. We are exporting coal as well as using it in the power plant. Fair enough. At least we've got some money coming in for that. I mean, we're certainly not getting short of money. We are making money every month. It's just we're not actually making any profit from our trade, which is why we're not getting any... Oh no, we're getting a little bit this time. Actually got some trade daily profit. At least we did yesterday anyway. And Omega Co is smogging away. I wonder how much pollution that actually causes. Quite a lot. I mean, luckily most of the pollution is being blown in this direction, so it's not too much of a bad thing. Biggest pollutant by far, of course, is our coal power plant there. But at least it's all blowing in the right direction. A little bit of ground pollution around here. But well, that's the air pollution. The ground pollution is pretty much the same areas. Same buildings, same culprits. Building density map. As you can see, we do have some higher density, but it's getting there. It's getting there slowly. Happiness isn't too bad. Obviously, there's some happiness in some of these factories going out of business. Yeah, not enough Omega. We've still got these issues here. Too much crime. It's a strange one for them. So we do have a few tourists in the city. You can see that's represented by the little yellow or orange people. Yellow's deliveries. And a few visitors from out of town. Got some students. Got some workers. Not too bad overall. But yeah, Omega Co is our biggest problem at the moment. I think what we will do, and again, let's have some of my infamous janky roads, is connect these roads up here. And then we've got a bit of a better connection between these factories. This road is getting very busy as well. Can we upgrade that? Yes, we can. Not sure if it's going to help any, but we'll certainly upgrade these roads where we can. Let's just make them all high density. One tiny stupid little bit of street that didn't match up with the rest of it for some strange reason. High density avenue, high density avenue. Don't know why I just made that into a streetcar avenue. I don't actually have any streetcars, and I'm not necessarily sure that they would help. I mean, they could do. It's a possibility, of course. This is one of the reasons why it's worth having high density avenues, because you can turn them into high density streetcar avenues. And as I've said before, once you've got a road, you can't really turn a road into an avenue because there isn't enough room. But what you can do, once you have high density streetcar avenues, you can actually go into streetcars and you can place streetcar depot and streetcar stations. Now, streetcar depots just need to go somewhere next to an avenue. That is where you are going to basically base your streetcars from. So I guess we certainly could put one here just opposite the fire station. So let's do that. Of course, you can add extra things to that. You can add streetcar garage, and the more of these you have, the more streetcars you can have. So let's put a few of those on. So we've got a few streetcars running, and then you have these streetcar terminals, and these are basically where the streetcars can pick people up and drop people off. So we're going to connect those up to our avenues, or at least on our streetcar avenues. Try and get some good coverage. It's not going to solve all of our problems, but it should certainly help with some of our traffic issues. You can become a streetcar avenue. You can become a streetcar avenue. You can become a streetcar avenue. We didn't get that bit. I missed it. What else have we got? This bit, streetcar avenue. Streetcar avenue. Okay, that should help a little bit more. Let's go back to mass transit. Streetcars and put a few of these in. So, like I said, it's not going to solve all of our problems, but should certainly help out a little bit. Of course, maglev we should be able to build. So we think about doing that. Of course, it is powered by ControlNet. I still need to find out whether or not ControlNet is regional or citywide. Do I need to have a academy in this city to be able to use stuff that requires ControlNet? That's going to be the question there. Well, we've certainly more than doubled our population. Not doing too bad now. Still getting a lot of abandoned buildings. That is an Amiga issue right there, of course. These ones here are actually building fires. So that's not too bad. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's not good. But at least it's not because they are out of Amiga. A streetcar named SimCity. Have 1,000 Sims travel by streetcar in a day. Well, certainly then the streetcars are being used, which is good stuff. Abandoned building. Apparently we've still got some rubble somewhere as well, but I can't see it. These two little buildings here. That's those sorted. Maxis Man, how are you doing? Go out. Save Sims. We've been on this mission for ages and you still haven't been able to pull it off yet. Doing very well for money, of course. Let's have a look at zoning. Haven't really looked at that during this video. Still getting a bit of demand for industrial. Low wealth residential is going down. But we are getting an increased demand for medium wealth. A little bit for high wealth, a little bit for low wealth commercial. I think all in all we're doing well. Getting closer towards our next upgrade for the Omega Co HQ. We've got an upgrade available for the Metals HQ. So let's go for that, as we can do it. Now, what we can add on to this, we can add a commerce division. We already have the trade port, though, so we don't need to worry about the commerce division. We can have an engineering division, which would give us access to the advanced coal mine. Or we could have a smelting division, which would give us a smelting factory. Now, we have a mission to place a smelting factory, so we're going to do that. We're going to pop that down there. As you can see, not an awful lot of room for it with that Omega Co factory. But now we can have a smelting factory. Trade depot, we haven't quite done enough with that yet to be able to upgrade anything there. So let's have a look at our smelting factory, mainly because I'll probably forget to do it on the next video. So this will smelt raw ore into metals and alloys. And we need to find a place for that. I guess that isn't a terrible place for it. So we're going to pop it there on the avenue. And that's another mission done. Can't remember if we get anything for that. If there was a reward. Probably not. But we have done that. It's closed and now hiring. Now, of course, we can add extra delivery trucks to this, which is never a bad idea. And we can add a metal furnace. And we can add alloy furnace. Now, of course, that does also mean we are going to have to increase our trade depots to be able to handle the additional materials we're producing. But at least we should be able to sell those, which will be a good thing. Majority report. What's got going on here? What do they want us to do? I wasn't paying attention. Arrest 10 more criminals. Oh, they want us to pop a police precinct. Not sure if I'm ready to do that yet. We're certainly making enough money. Could be worth doing it. But that will be something for another video. All in all, haven't done too bad. We've got some of these buildings upgraded. We have doubled our population. We certainly still have some issues with the amount of Omega that we can produce. But we're certainly not becoming bankrupt. We are making 23,000 simoleons per hour, so this is a very, very profitable city already. And our monthly transactions has now gone down to minus 20,000. It was like minus 300,000 before, so we are doing much, much better out of this city. And hopefully this will continue. Of course, we still need to move on to our third city at some point and get our education and tourism city up and running. But I think for starters, we've done pretty well here, and it looks like we might actually be able to make a success out of this city. I'm sure there are things here that I've messed up completely, but all in all, it looks like it's going to work, at least to some degree. So, thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying the series, and I'll see you next time. So until then, goodbye for now.